Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Diagnostic Train. And as usual, this is Mitch at Diagnostic North. What we have on the go today is a 543 Bobcat with a 2-cylinder Isuzu diesel engine. And the symptoms that this engine is experiencing is a hard cold start. One thing that I have noticed with this engine is that it loves its glow plugs. You sometimes have to hold the glow plugs for about 20 to 30 seconds in order for it to start. Man, I hope she goes. What do you guys think could be wrong with her? Do we have fuel bleeding back? Low compression? Are we looking at glow plug problems? Maybe we got some air in the fuel. There she goes. Oh, not quite. Give her a little bit more glow plug. She loves the glows. All right, it's time to bring this thing into the shop, tear into it, figure out exactly what's going on with it. Now let's try to see what happens when we try to restart this after it's been running for a while. Because we've been troubleshooting this problem for quite some time, and unfortunately for us, it's gotten a little bit better, but we're not fixed up quite just yet. That battery's shot. How about we go to the store and go get one? Okay, we're here. There we go. We'll pay later about that. Sorry for you guys wearing earphones. I'm sure that was loud. So, as it turns out, we do need Group 31 battery style top post, and let's see if we can just, no tools required here. There we go. That saves some time walking back and forth, because you know time is money. So those are negative. Let's see if we can pull the old trick. Positive too. There we go. We'll try to hold that back while we turn it. Battery in here. There we go. Positive was in deep. If this one's gonna fit. Definitely a bigger battery. Perfect, lots of room. That should work for farmer's repair. So now I need some stainless nuts, which there's a 3/8 stainless nut and another 3/8 stainless nut. Now that we got the fresh battery installed, let's see how it restarts after it was a little bit more. Seems to start good. What do you guys think? We have a problem here? It's kind of a hard start. There is one thing that I know for sure though, is that we're gonna be performing some tests that are gonna answer a lot of our questions. So we're gonna start with a compression test. We're gonna be removing those glow plugs that are behind, oh, you see one of them there. Removing those glow plugs so we can get our adapter in there. And at the same time, we're gonna be checking our glow plug performance. So we're gonna put power directly to those glow plugs and see if they turn red hot. We're gonna be checking our power supply to our glow plugs as well while we're in there. But based on our compression test results, if we have bad cylinder performance, then we're gonna be doing a cylinder leak down test. And that's physically turning the engine to top dead center where both valves are closed. And we're gonna see if we can apply pressure to that cylinder, both of those cylinders, and see if it holds our pressure. That may indicate a problem with the valves or with the cylinder piston rings. So depending on our compression test results will pretty much dictate how this video is gonna go. But we may be looking at an issue with this fuel pump. This fuel pump might be performing, but our injectors may not be. So I'd like to remove the injectors. We'll loosen these lines, flip them over here so that we can actually witness the spray pattern from the injectors while the engine's cranking over. But like I said, it all depends on our compression test results. Okay, so we've got the glow plugs out. This is cylinder number 1 glow plug, and this is cylinder number 2 glow plug. And conveniently, we have power and ground here. We're just gonna be checking to see how well these glow plugs perform. So we're looking for an initial spark. Yes, we've got it. We've got a little bit of smoke, meaning she's working. And there she is, she's red hot. So
So we know that one's working. Don't want to touch this. 3rd-degree burns. Now let's check cylinder number 1. We got a spark. We got some smoke. I can already feel the heat against my hand there. And she's turning red hot. This is cylinder number 1. This is cylinder number 2. We are plugged into the power supply for the glow plugs, which means we're testing the supply from the vehicle, from the Bobcat. So, let's count the seconds. We're roughly about 5 seconds here. 10, 14, 15, 18. Here we go, about 20 seconds for those to turn red hot. So now we have a better idea what's happening inside that cylinder while we're commanding our glow plugs on. I think we're okay. The next step is we're going to continue on and check our compression. So we have our fitting right here. That's the same as the glow plug. Note it's got the same distance. You don't want to go with a longer one that might interfere with the cylinder going up and down. And you also want to keep the compression ratio similar. So notice this one has a Schrader valve. We might end up having to take that out for a cylinder leak down test. But for the compression test, we're just going to leave it in there. It doesn't hurt. So let's get that in here. There's not much room for you guys. You're gonna have to take a back seat. And then we're gonna need a 13mm wrench so that we can torque that nice and tight. Click. And then we'll get our gauge set up here. Hopefully we got enough room where we can get that in. So bear with me 1 second.
So we weren't able to use that gauge, so we had to use gauge B, which in my opinion is a better gauge. So I'm gonna give you guys vertigo here. We're gonna turn this around so you guys have a good view. And I'm gonna go and crank this engine over. I want you guys to tell me what kind of pressure we're getting. Okay? No sleeping on the job. Keep your eyes open, let's go. Oof. That's no good. Bleed that off and try it again. Looks like we found the problem. A little bit low compression on number 1. How about we try number 2? So we're going to take this one out. And we're going to drop it. Uh-oh. Oh, I see it right there. we're really trying to do is put it into number 2 cylinder. Okay, cool. She's in. Hand tight. Tighten that up. Click. And we're going to install our gauge once more. Bear with me 1 second. This is a 2-hand operation. Ooh. All right. So we're number 2. Let's see how much compression number 2 cylinder has. How is this thing even running? 75, is that the highest it went, guys? I wasn't here, so I'm relying on you guys. Yeah? Let's try number 2 one more time. What is going on? Let's try a different gauge. I don't know, something just seems weird to me right now. Okay, so I got our alternate gauge installed. Numbers are a little bit smaller, but this is number 2 cylinder again. Let's give it a shot. What do we get? 0. We're not leaking, are we? Gauge is, the quick connect is fully seated. This one's reading 0 PSI. Huh. Well, looks like we have found the problem. Really crappy compression in cylinder number 2. But since we have changed the variables of these tests, we're going to try cylinder number 1 with this gauge, just to give us an idea. So this is cylinder number 1 again, just to confirm some of the readings that this new gauge is saying. We'll see if we're actually accurate with gauge number 1. Well, there's something obviously wrong here. Maybe this gauge is no good either. So after chasing our tails, trying one gauge, trying another gauge, We've got a whole bench full of gauges here, and they're all reading roughly the same amount. So we have 125 PSI shop air pressure, and we verified it with and without the Schrader valve. I know I said earlier it shouldn't matter, but it looks like it does. So we're just gonna give you an idea of what's happening here. And we're gonna apply shop air pressure, and we're gonna monitor. Oh, listen to those jigs. Try to get a good seal on here. I can't do it with one hand. Try to get a good seal. And our max pressure achieved was 75 PSI. Now we're going to repeat this test after we pull the Schrader valve out of this adapter fitting. Okay, that's out. Oh, just about. Okay, put a little condom back on here and check out that pressure. Now we're not going to be able to hold our pressure in the line, unfortunately, but with all this leaking, it's hard to get an accurate number here, but it's over 100 PSI, which is way more accurate than 75. See how these tests can get confusing? Oh, I'm so happy we figured this out before we dove in, decided to pull the head or whatever the case may be. Actually, I bet you our leak down test would have also shown that we had good compression. But seeing as how we just found an issue with our hoses, we're gonna do our compression test one more time. Looks like we need to invest in some better compression testers. I'm just wasting my time here. We're gonna try another style of compression tester that I have. It's for doing gasoline engines, but it goes up to 300 PSI. It's got a built-in check. And I've confirmed that this one is actually reading accurately. I'll show you guys real quick. Okay, I really hope that this is the last time we have to compression test cylinder number 1. I know one thing for sure, that I'm gonna go buy a brand new compression tester, probably on the Snap-on truck right after this job. So I'll go crank this thing over, keep an eye out. I bet you we're gonna get some really good numbers. Oh yeah, 225, about 225. It's quite an improvement. Okay, so we're plumbed into cylinder number 2. If you guys vertigo again, I'll fix that up for you guys. Now I'm gonna go crank this thing, and I bet you we'll get some pretty good numbers, hopefully compared to cylinder number 1. What did we get? a little bit higher, about 230. Let's give ourselves a round of applause here. We figured it out. So as it turns out, we figured out exactly what's going on with this engine, why she's so hard to start when cold. Well, it's got low compression. We're sitting around 230, 225 PSI compression when the spec calls for 31 kilograms per centimeter square. I'll do the conversion real quick for you guys. It ends up being around 440 PSI. So it looks like we're due for a cylinder leak down test, but I'm gonna cut this video short right here. We're gonna split this up and you'll see a little bit more when episode 2 comes out. So I hope you guys have enjoyed your ride on the diagnostic train. And as usual, this is Mitch at Diagnostic North, signing out.